All right, so we do it again. This one we're adding 3 and then 5 and then 7. So this does not seem to be arithmetic. Is that allowed in our description? Yeah, determine if it's arithmetic. This is not arithmetic. You have to be adding the same thing every time to be arithmetic, so it's no good. Let's see what this next one says. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, and 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So even though it looks a little weird, yeah, we're adding a half every time. Add a half, add a half, add a half. So our common difference is a half. And so it is arithmetic because we're adding the same thing. Common difference is a half. If we want our 52nd term, we say a sub 52. That stands for our 52nd term. We're going to get that by starting off with the first term and adding our common difference 51 times. So n minus 1 times. And if you were to crunch that out, you'd get 2 plus 51 halves. So that's 4 halves plus 51 halves is 55 halves. There you go. If you want an explicit formula, you can get any term you want by starting off with the first term and adding that common difference n minus 1 times. So again, like to get the second term, you added 1/2 once. To get the third term, you added 1/2 twice. To get the fourth term, you added 1/2 3 times. So to get the 52nd term, you added 51 times. To get the nth term, n minus 1. So there's a formula that you use for your explicit that my students don't like memorizing, but if you say it to yourself, it just makes a whole lot of sense. I don't mind it in this form. It's kind of like a point slope form if you kick that 2 over, because arithmetic sequences are basically linear. So, but if you wanted to, you could distribute the 1/2, so 1/2 n minus 1/2, and get that a sub n is 1/2 n plus, what is that, 3 halves when you collect like terms. So either one is good. And let's do the same thing for the last one. We'll check to make sure we're adding the same thing every time. Subtracting 6, subtracting 6, subtracting 6. So adding, subtracting, remember subtracting is just adding negatives. So this is indeed arithmetic. The common difference is a -6, totally fine. If we want our 52nd term, we can get that by starting off with 34 and adding our common difference. So adding a -6, or you can just say subtracting 6 51 times. If you punch that in on your calculator, you'll get that the 52nd term is -272. If you want a generic formula, you start off with your first term and you subtract that 6 n minus 1 times. Totally fine leaving it here, but if you want, you can distribute the -6. Make sure you distribute that negative so that it's +6, and you get 40 minus 6n. And that's a formula for the nth term of your sequence. So if you wanted, so now that you have that, you could plug into that. So like, let's say they wanted the 101st term or the 100th term, I could just do 40 minus 6 times 100, and that would give me the 100th term super fast. Awesome.